Hello, everyone. Waiting all day for SNF podcast is back. I'm Chase Younts, joined alongside Alex Frank. Alex, how's your beautiful Wednesday going?
Oh, my beautiful Wednesday's going fantastic, Chase. Did you know that 2 years ago today there was an eclipse?
Yes, my dad actually texted a photo from it. I mean, what the times were. I mean, wow. When it gets dark out at 2:57, usually, you'd be under the influence thinking that, but that's a lot of drinks. That's a lot of drinks if you're thinking it's dark at 2:57. But then again, whatever. But yeah, what a great Wednesday it is, but a great Wednesday to talk some mock Sunday night football schedules. We're not
Oh,
going to waste
yes.
a
But
whole lot of
before we begin, I know we live in Ohio, but let's congratulate Dusty May and the Michigan Wolverines and the Big
time.
Ten, Chase, perhaps the most dominant conference in all of college athletics right now.
I'll say Dusty May is a fantastic coach and did a great job in Michigan this year. Their program took a complete 180 from what it was just a couple of years ago. Not going to catch me ever congratulating Michigan on that front, but again, for them, job well done. I mean, that was a heck of a season they had, and they looked like they were the best team in the country, and they reigned supreme.
If you're the UConn Huskies, nothing to be ashamed of. They played their absolute guts out on Monday night. I thought when they got that turnover and they were down by only 6, when they were driving for a layup, I'm like, if they score here, they might go on to win the game. But give Michigan credit. They held serve, and then McKinney makes a 3 to put them up 9. And it was just a very, very good national championship game. And I think we have to acknowledge, even with all the craziness in college athletics, it's in a very, very good place right now, especially college basketball.
For sure. And again, you got the portal opening up, and that's going to serve thousands of conversations on different fronts. So, portal season is officially arrived.
That it will. It has arrived. I mean, Kentucky's talking to some of the top point guards in the country. There's some interesting names. Apparently, Denzel Aberdeen's trying to get a 5th year of eligibility. It sounds like he's going to be able to. So, wow. I mean, I'm trying to keep up with college athletics and all the changes and portal this and law this and legislation that. I don't know.
Yep, a lawful vortex of guys getting paid and playing college basketball. So, it's a cyclone at that. Not Iowa State though, but yeah. Wow, this is gonna be a heck of a mock schedule that we have.
Oh gosh.
Do you want to go first? And you'll rattle through. We'll talk, and then I'll go.
Yeah, because I feel like some of mine. So I'll go ahead. Do you want me to go through the whole thing? Do you want to take it like a quarter of the way, or
let's go through a quarter. Let's go quarter by quarter. Let's start opener through week number. Let's go thirds. Opener to week 6.
Opener to week 6. Okay. All right. Now this is only 1.0. So for those of you watching or listening, we got maybe 2 more coming, although with Chase's mock schedule that he tells me is a heater and insane, we may not even get to 3.0, maybe not even 2.0. So without further ado, here is my mock schedule for the 21st season of Sunday Night Football on NBC, starting with the 429th game in the franchise. How about that? Opening night kickoff, a matchup between the top 2 seeds, the Bears and the Seahawks, the top 2 seeds in the NFC from a year ago. Week 1, the Bills opening their new Hyde Park Stadium against the reigning AFC champions, New England Patriots. Josh Allen versus Drake May, potentially a budding superstar quarterback rivalry. Staying in New York, technically East Rutherford, New Jersey. Week 2, 49ers at the Giants, a matchup that takes you back to the smash mouth of the 80s. Week 3, let's go to the Rocky Mountains. Chiefs Broncos.
Ooh, I like it.
Week 4, we used to circle this game on the calendar every year from like 1996 through 2019. We're doing it again. Steelers and Patriots in Foxborough. Yeah. Week 5, kind of going off the grid a little bit. These 2 teams played a great game on my 25th birthday in 2023. Now we get this matchup again, the Bengals and Texans in Houston.
Nice.
And then week 6, we've seen him play on CBS. We've seen him play on Fox. But, not on NBC, 49ers Chiefs in Kansas City.
Wow. I like that. And again, this is the thing. It's like when you're going through those are great games. When you go through these mock schedules, you think about what's appealing to yourself. You also think about what's appealing to the country, but then you also kind of take the cap of what do you think the network's going to do based on what has happened over the past 2 decades.
You got to look for patterns and trends. I mean, Niners Chiefs, They've played a Super Bowl on Fox. They played a Super Bowl on CBS. They've played on Fox. They've played on CBS in the regular season.
Yep.
By the way, did you know, Chase, Patrick Mahomes' first career home start was against the 49ers. He has not played the 49ers at home since. Add that storyline into this matchup.
There you go. And I'll give you my first 6 weeks here. Opening night, I was fiddling back and forth between this, and I want to keep this team on opening weekend on NBC, so I will, but this is going to be different. So the opener, the trending of how this quarterback is coming back from injury, we're going to stick on the point. I think Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs taking on the Seattle Seahawks on opening night
right off
makes
the bat.
sense. Right off the bat. Again, if Patrick Mahomes isn't ready, then you're like, what the heck's going to happen? You know what I mean? It draws intrigue of what's this going to look like right off the gate. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to be ready, but again, I'm no doctor. And on top of it, you had the storyline of Kenneth Walker returning to Seattle, where he won Super Bowl MVP. His first game as a Kansas City Chief is back at the place where he started and helped win a Super Bowl. Week 1, Sunday Night Football. This is a matchup that has been slated at this many, many times, and I think this one adds another layer to it as the New York Giants take on the Dallas Cowboys. John Harbaugh's first game as the Giants head coach. Jackson Dart and the boys. Malik Neighbors is back. We don't know what's going on with Dexter Lawrence. We'll talk about that later on the show. And then the Dallas Cowboys, as the great Al Michaels says, the D in Dallas stands for drama. Why not? That's exactly what it's made for.
So where's this game at in week 1?
In Dallas. It's in Dallas.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Week 2. I want week 2. I want to see the Chicago Bears take on the Buffalo Bills. I think you've got Caleb Williams going into a new stadium against Josh Allen, 2 guys that are just extremely fun to watch with off-script plays. I mean, Caleb Williams literally backpedaled to the 40-yard line last year and made an in-the-bucket throw to tie the divisional roundup. And Josh Allen is, a human snowmobile. It's September, but again, I think that's going to be a great way to open up the stadium over in Buffalo. Week 3, we're on the same wavelength right here because I think the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New England Patriots are going to run it back, and I think they'll be on Sunday Night Football. Again, we don't know what the Steelers are going to look like, especially at quarterback. We haven't heard anything from Aaron Rodgers. It's Mike McCarthy as the new head coach, and then the New England Patriots. NBC is not going to waste any time putting the Patriots on the front, and again, I mean, in Foxborough at that. Week 4, I think this should be a game that should be highlighted by Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football, whatever way possible. But we've seen this matchup many times happen to be on Thursdays. One happened to be on Sunday Night Football. Why not get Ravens-Bengals in the spotlight? Trey Hendrickson returning to Cincinnati. You want to hear a place with the loudest manure chants of all time? That's going to be up there with one of them. And the subplot is Lamar Jackson versus Joe Burrow. That's a subplot.
Subplot, you say?
Come on now. I mean, people want to see a great quarterback battle, and then they want to see drama, and they want to see animosity, and they want to see great quarterback play. So why not get those two in the ring and play it on Sunday Night Football? We'll go to week 5.
Sunday of October.
The second Sunday of October. Last year, these two teams couldn't find a winner. We might find one this year. The Dallas Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers.
I love that.
Field. I think that's a good matchup. Again, Dallas getting their share on the NBC pie early on in the season, and the Green Bay Packers, of course, being featured. This is one of the most historic rivalries in all of the NFL. That's not in a divisional sense. Week 6, I like the Seattle Seahawks traveling east to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. The Seahawks, of course, obviously the Super Bowl champions. The Philadelphia Eagles, we don't know what's going to be going on with them. We don't even know who's going to be on their team at the moment. Who knows? But I would like to see what Jalen Hurts and company has in store for the Seattle Seahawks team coming off the Super Bowl defense.
Did you know that there are only 2 teams in the NFL since 2011 that have not started 0-2? Dallas and Green Bay.
Really?
I figured that out Monday
Wow.
night.
That's that. Wow. That's actually
That
insane.
bridge, though, from Ravens, Bengals, and Cincinnati to Cowboys, Packers, and Green Bay. I mean, the Midwest is getting its share of
Yeah.
Sunday Night Football
Yes,
on
they will be.
NBC. Division rivalries, historic rivalries. I mean, you got cross-country matchups, Seahawks and Eagles. I mean, woo!
We're in for a good one.
And that opening night game, I mean, Chiefs, Seahawks right off the bat. You got the reigning Super Bowl champions and then the Kansas City Chiefs, who are this generation's New England Patriots. I mean,
it's just like the fact of the Dallas Cowboys, seeing the Dallas Cowboys on opening night, NBC, they're gonna want to take it, just like last year with the Eagles and the Cowboys playing, just like a few years back with the Bucks and the Cowboys playing on opening night. They're gonna want to take that chance and say, you know what? Patrick Mahomes' return to the field after injury, Kenneth Walker return to Seattle against the defending champions. Come on now. If there's a chance, they're going to take it.
As they raise the banner. It's a Wednesday night, but so be it. I mean, and then Bears, Bills. I mean, Caleb Williams and Josh Allen. If you love guys flying all over the field, that's going to be that game for you.
Yes, 100%.
Wow, we're off to a raucous start. I mean, we're thinking on some similar wavelengths. This is. I mean, I don't even know how to top that. What are we going now? Week 7 through week 12?
7 to Thanksgiving. Let's go 7 to Thanksgiving.
So you want me to save my Sunday night week 12 game for the next third after this one? Okay. Yep. All right. Week 7. We saw this matchup for the first time, SNF on NBC, way back in 2006, 20 years ago. You may remember the infamous ending. Well, now we're going to see it again. Cowboys at Seahawks, week 7 in Seattle.
I like
week
it a
8.
lot.
It is the day after Halloween. So, when I think of Halloween, I mentioned this as a marketing pitch on a few shows back, if you remember. When I think of Halloween, I think of the Ravens and Edgar Allan Poe, quote, the Raven nevermore, mentor versus mentee, Jim Harbaugh versus Jesse Minter, Chargers, Ravens in Baltimore, week 8. Week 9, the second Sunday of November, I want it cold. I want it windy in the Windy City, Packers, Bears in Chicago,
Here we go.
week 9. Week 10, they played on Monday night in LA 8 years ago. How about a Sunday night game? Chiefs at Rams, a potential Super Bowl 61 preview. Week 11, fun matchup. 2 former number 1 overall picks and Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks. Bears at Panthers in Charlotte. Panthers' first SNF on NBC game since 2015 in Charlotte. Thanksgiving night, it's a national bird holiday. The first capital, I think the first capital, at least one of them was, the United States, Philadelphia, our nation's capital at 250th year. Commanders at Eagles in Philadelphia on Thanksgiving night. And if the Commanders are good, that's going to make it a whole lot better.
100%. I love those matchups. I mean, Rams Chiefs is a heavyweight one right there. I mean, I like the Dallas Cowboys and Seattle Seahawks touching back from the past. That Ravens Chargers game, that just feels like a Sunday Night Football game right there. And again, I mean, there's so many great matchups. There's so many great storylines. And the fact of the matter is there's so many networks that they can be put on. Monday Night Football has obviously raised the roof in terms of great games that have been on there. Thursday Night Football, of course, has raised the roof on the great games they have. The 4:00 window at that, Fox and CBS. I mean, there have been some fantastic ones with that. So again, it's going to be interesting to see how they sprinkle all this throughout. And then you're going to have some really great 1:00 games. So it's a tough task right here, but it's a lot of fun to go through that. I like those matchups for sure. Week 7. This one I feel like CBS is going to pick up, but I could see this one. This has the makings to be something fun. The Denver Broncos travel out to the Bay Area to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Something just I can see the picture right now. I can see the Broncos and they're all white in a sunset picture in San Francisco against the Niners. I mean, something just feels right about that matchup. And they played on week 7 SNF back in 2014 when Peyton Manning broke the all-time passing touchdown record in Denver. Week 8, they stay out west, and let's go with the Green Bay Packers and the Los Angeles Rams on Sunday Night
Unique
Football.
one, okay.
Those two played each other a couple years back in 2024. That was a matchup right there. I feel like that would be a fun matchup on that course. Week 9, let's go LA Chargers, Kansas City Chiefs. Let's go back to the middle of the country. Let's see Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes at that point in the season. They played each other in week 15 this past year, and obviously Mahomes got hurt. Let's see if Mahomes can avenge that one. Week 10, New England Patriots at the Detroit Lions. They played each other in week 3 of 2018 on Sunday Night Football, so why not have a return trip for SNF? And then the previous trip before that was 2010 on Thanksgiving, so why not throw back on SNF? That'll be an interesting one for sure. Drake May taking on Jared Goff. Week 11, this one, this is a unique one, but I think we're going to see the Rams again, and they're going to go cross country and take on the Washington Commanders. We saw last year with the Seahawks taking on the Commanders, and the Seahawks beat the living breaks off of Washington. But I don't know, something about this feels like, this could be one of those games where, the stars of the Los Angeles Rams come out there to take on Jaden Daniels and those guys in the nation's capital. Washington had a great offseason in terms of free agency acquisitions, and they have themselves a draft. The Commanders could be right back in this thing, and that'll be interesting to see how things shake out into November. And then on Thanksgiving night, I think it's right to stick with, matchups that have done justice in the past. And let's just go with the Seahawks and the Niners. They played on 2014 Thanksgiving night on NBC. Let's run it back once more.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so see, I love how you start out, you crescendo in early October, you kind of come back down to earth, get a divisional matchup in there, Chargers and Chiefs, but then it's like, I'm going to go deep into the storylines. I'm going to go Sean McVay returning to his old stopping grounds prior to when he became the head coach of the Rams. He was the Commanders' offensive coordinator in 2016. And then, Seattle, San Francisco. Where do you have that game?
Thanksgiving night. So,
is it in San Francisco? Or is
in San Francisco, yes.
Oh,
yes.
Oh my God. Woo!
We're really turning the clock back, 100%.
Turning the clock back. It's an SNF on NBC Classic. Yeah. If you know, you know. That is whew.
And the last part of the schedule, as I'm sure yours as well, get ready is all I got to say.
Oh, get ready indeed.
Here we go.
So,
what do we got here?
You may think this is a slow start. I certainly don't think it is. Let's give the AFC South some love. Texans at Jaguars in North Florida on the Sunday after Thanksgiving, week 12. All right, so maybe a little warm on I-95 in North Florida. Let's switch that up a little bit. Week 13 on Sunday, December 7th, the frozen tundra Lambeau Field. How will the Lions handle the outdoors when they take on the Packers on Sunday Night Football on NBC? Week 14, it's a matchup of the last two Super Bowl champions, a matchup of birds, Seahawks at Eagles in Philadelphia. On my sister's birthday, December 14th, it could be December night game in Philly. They hit different. Another cross-country matchup, week 15. Patriots at Chargers in L.A. Week 16, this has never been an SNF on NBC matchup. That's changing this year. Bills at Broncos in Denver, Rocky Mountains 2 days after Christmas. And then week 17, I am shocked this has not been an SNF on NBC matchup. It feels like one team is good at one time and then the other team is good another time, but they're never good at the same time. But darn it, if both teams have at least 9 wins going into week 17 on January 3rd, January 3rd, give me a Commanders and 49ers matchup in San Francisco in week 17. So 4 cross-country matchups to end the regular season for me. I didn't even plan it that way. It just turned out that way.
I love that. And that's just the way the flow goes. That Bills-Broncos game is freaking massive. That's an awesome one to put right there. I love that. We are on the same wavelength, excuse me. One of the matchups you just mentioned, I also have on my scheduled in these last 6 weeks or so. Week 12, Sunday Night Football, I've got the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Denver Broncos.
Okay.
I'm intrigued to see what Mahomes is doing at that point in the season, and obviously the Denver Broncos getting themselves a home SNF game. I'm very excited to see what could come from there. We go off the grid a little bit, week 13. We take it back to going down memory lane for Josh Allen, all right? So Josh Allen's first career start, he was like a 17-point underdog, and he obviously wasn't – he was facing a new quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. Let's go with Bills-Vikings, Josh Allen versus Kyler Murray. Week 13 SNF.
This is incredible digging.
The Vikings are an odd team in terms of, you think last year, like, oh man, they're not that good. They went 9-8. If they would have won one more of their games, I mean, they would have made the playoffs. Like, how insane is that to think about? You know,
if the Bears don't make a field goal just inside that left upright in week 11, Minnesota wins the NFC North. They win the NFC North.
Exactly. That's what I mean. And Kyler Murray is at this point in his career, I'd say a better quarterback than J.J. McCarthy. So you also have Kevin O'Connell there to kind of, also be a quarterback whisperer at that. We saw what happened with Sam Darnold, and we've seen Sam Darnold on the schedule a couple of times. So there's that. Week 14, there's your matchup with the Houston Texans and Jacksonville Jaguars in Jacksonville. I think that one would be a lot of fun to see C.J. Stroud and Trevor Lawrence battle at it. All right, now these last three ones. I mean, I don't know how we get much better than this. Week 15, the Green Bay Packers against the Chicago Bears. December 20th. Get it as cold as possible as we saw it last year. I think that's just going to make too much sense. Week 16, let's go the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. Why not? Go another heavyweight fight there. And then in week 17, we're going to flip the script a little bit, and we're going to go the Philadelphia Eagles at the Dallas Cowboys. Come on, heavy hitters. We need our three heavy hitters to line things up around Christmas time.
Divisional matchups in the holidays. Are you? I mean, it's in the last four. What are you doing here?
Yes. Yep. The last four are divisional matchups, and then guaranteed your week 18 one is a divisional matchup. So
essentially the last five, and then they'll probably have a divisional matchup on a wild card weekend, just because that's what the trend they're going with here. The tough getting rough in primetime fights.
There you go.
Now, where's the Packers-Bears matchup? Is it in Green Bay or Chicago?
Oh, Chicago, easy. Easy one, Chicago. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I would love to see a game in the frozen tundra, but I think just seeing off of what is going on with Chicago Bears, I think NBC is going to want to get to Chicago for a massive SNF game, and I think that literally plays into it with the Bears and Packers.
You kept it simple, but yet it just feels massive.
Yeah, I mean, Steelers, Ravens. I mean, at this point in time, I don't know what's going to happen in terms of the Steelers quarterback and everything else, but I think that should always be a Sunday Night Football game, year in and year out, because you want to see big time hits, you want to see big time plays, two teams that just don't like each other at all. That's what you get with the Ravens and the Steelers. So that's just my honest opinion.
Oh my gosh, and this is only 1.0. 2.0, we are going to turn on the Jahmyr Gibbs accelerators, and then the third one, we're going pedal to the metal.
And that's the thing, is like, there's so many other great games outside of ones on NBC where it's like, it is tough to predict which ones are going to be caught by the network and which ones are going to be out there in the open. I mean, it's incredible.
There's going to be one that you don't expect, and there's going to be one that you did expect that doesn't get on.
Yeah, exactly. And
I
mean, like you mentioned, I mean, even in the rundown of the show, I mean, games you would like to see on CBS or Fox. I mean, you think about it, this past year for the Buffalo Bills, their schedule was insane for the home games. It's going to be the same way this year. Like, their home schedule is ridiculous. I mean, they still play the Chiefs. They play the Chargers. They play the Lions. Play the Patriots. They play the Bears.
They play the Ravens.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's just like, where do you go from here in terms of picking and choosing which games are on CBS, Fox, Monday Night Football? I mean, there's going to be so many crews going to that new Highmark Stadium in Buffalo. So it's incredible.
Chiefs Broncos the Sunday after Thanksgiving. I mean, you're basically the 10-year anniversary of one of the most famous endings in Sunday Night Football in NBC history. I mean, I'm sure you thought about that when you were putting this mock schedule together. Off the upright and in. By the way, Tirico called that game, so kind of fitting. And it's interesting. So that game was the first year the Chiefs won the division, their first of 9 straight division titles, and then Denver snapped it this past season. It went Denver 5 years, Kansas City 9 years, and then the Broncos this past year. And by the way, the Chiefs also won it in 2010. So since 2010, when the NFL went to divisional games in the last week of the regular season, it's been either Denver or Kansas City that has won the AFC West. I mean, that is –
yeah. And that's what you mentioned right there. I mean, the subplots. There are so many great subplots of these major stories that will be put on the Sunday Night Football regardless of the matchups. It's incredible. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, obviously I know I'm mentioning before about, the D in Dallas stands for drama. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know where to go from here in terms of, in terms of the national football. It is can't miss television, appointment television, if you want to look at it that way.
By the way, side note, Jizzle James just entered the transfer portal.
Doesn't shock me. But
I wish him all the best.
Yeah, same, but doesn't shock me. But
all right, that kind of happened there. Real quick, since he's supposed to release his mock schedule this week, I'm not sure when exactly. NFL Schedule Enthusiast. Now, this is different from Nerding on NFL. The two work together, and they work together very well.
Yeah.
By the way, this is in place of talking about Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini, who you probably have seen in the news.
Yeah, I'm going to stay.
We'll refrain from talking about that. That could. Okay.
Yep.
So he has Bears Seahawks on opening night. I'm starting to think it might be that because it can't be the Niners, which would have been awesome. It can't be the Rams. That would have been fun too. Now he has that labeled as TNF. Could Prime Video broadcast the Australia game?
I could see it. I could see it.
I think it'd be great if they did.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of how that would work for Kirk Herbstreit, in terms of college football and college game day, that would be it would be quite interesting. But again, I mean,
it would be.
You know what? I'm not trying to throw a bone or anything out there, but why not give a guy a shot like Kurt Warner?
So Kurt Warner on Prime Video
for one game without Michaels.
Why? Al Michaels and Kurt Warner, I think, would be great together. I mean, Al Michaels he called so many of Warner's games.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, he was on the call when they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That's just somebody that I would, possibly think of in terms of working, because I don't think you're going to get I don't know if you're going to get Greg Olson or somebody else call that, because think about it. I mean, they're going to be calling games on Sunday. Joe Davis, Greg Olson. I mean, that's a crazy schedule that Fox would have as well. I don't know if they're going to want to send a guy out there to do that game on a Thursday and all the other contracting stuff. But with Kirk being a part of the, NFL Network, ESPN, whatever you want to call it. I mean, if Kirk Herbstreit can't go out there and do the game, why not turn to Kurt Warner?
I mean, NFL Network and ESPN are now merged. So, and by the way, that's like one of the quietest sports media merges that I've seen.
Yeah, no, there's been no coverage over it. There's been no coverage at all.
Okay, so the Bengals in this mock schedule host the Jaguars in week 1. That's a little eerie. 364 days removed from when Joe Burrow sustained a turf toe injury against Jacksonville. America's game of the week, Cowboys at Giants. I love that matchup.
Cowboys at Giants?
Yes, in New York, John Harbaugh's head coaching debut, and then America's team. I mean, that's a throwback. But
I mean, I think people they sigh over a Cowboys Giants matchup week 1 in a big spot, but I think this year, I think it's truly one of the better times for them to put that game on.
If the Giants are relevant again this season, the NFL is going to be much better for it.
I agree.
Sunday Night Football, Lions at Bills. Oh, that's so good. First time week one SNF has two teams that have never won the Super Bowl. I mean, it's one thing the Bills are opening their new stadium, but against the Detroit Lions, it's not like they're playing a team that's, the big bad villain that's won a Super Bowl. No, they're playing a team that everybody loves. It's two of the most lovable teams in America.
Yeah, that's a heavy hitter right there. Wow. I mean, that's incredible.
And then Monday night, you got the Patriots at the Chargers. I'm starting to think, Chase, that the week one Monday night game is going to be at SoFi Stadium because that's where the Super Bowl is. I think ESPN could campaign for that, and that's totally okay.
Yeah, for sure. And it obviously leaves a pretty big door open for the fact that the Rams are playing over in Australia week one. You're probably going to assume the Chargers are going to play a home game week one. And
that's a good point.
Again, with their scheduled, I mean, there's so many great opponents. It's like, well, I mean, there's a high chance that they play a primetime game.
You could send ESPN's crew out to Melbourne. I mean, if they're going to be in LA for week one, it's a long flight back, but or you send the number 2 team, which by the way is now up for grabs. That's other news that has come down since we were last on. Steve Levy, outside chance, reading yesterday the number 2 spot.
Yeah.
You know who I would love to see in that number 2 spot, and he has been a Monday Night Voice before?
Tessitore.
That's a good guess. And
I know where you're going with this one, and I like to see it too.
Sean McDonough. I thought he got so good his second year on the mic with Gruden.
Yeah.
Now, the regional games for week one on NFL Schedule Enthusiast. So for Fox, he has 4 matchups at 1 o'clock. Texans, Eagles, Jets, Titans, Packers, Vikings, Saints, Panthers. I chose Texans, Eagles as the number 2 game because it's the Eagles and the Texans. I mean, they've won a playoff game in each of the last 3 seasons. I mean, that's a really good matchup right there.
Oh, it's a great matchup. Yeah, I think that is a very strong week 1 o'clock game as a number 2 for Fox. That would be, that'd be a
Packers,
very
Vikings as your number 3. I mean, that's how good it is.
Yeah, I mean, and again, that's your number 3. I mean, you're who are you getting? Adam Amin and Drew Brees. There you go.
That's Adam Amin and Drew Brees are number 3.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought Kenny Albert was number 3, or maybe I've been wrong this whole time.
I think Kenny's 4. Yeah.
Kenny's 4.
Yep.
So Adam Amin. First off, Adam Amin and Drew Brees are going to be really good, I think.
Yeah, especially after they did the last part of last year.
Yes.
I think they're going to be very good.
All right. So, and then the CBS games, he has 4 games. Colts, Chiefs, Jaguars, Bengals, Ravens, Browns, Broncos, Steelers. I went Colts, Chiefs as the number 1 game. Mahomes returning. The Colts, I mean, look, they're an attractive draw when they're at least relevant. I'm interested to see what they're going to look like this season. Daniel Jones coming back. I mean, that's 2 quarterbacks coming back from season-ending injuries. That's a good storyline right there, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, and on top of it, I mean, Jim Nantz and them called Chiefs games for a month straight, so I see a hard time with them not going to call the Kansas City game. I mean, Steelers Broncos would be a fun one. I think that one honestly has Kevin Harlan written all over it. But
totally.
But I mean, that's a great one too.
You were right about Adam. I mean, excuse me. Yeah, you were right about that. They were number 3 last year.
Yep.
Okay. All right. That full mock schedule, by the way, dropping later this week. He does a good job, as does Nerding on NFL. I just found out I may be in Tampa in July for SEC Media Days for football. That'll be fun.
There you go.
All right. Time for some marketing pitches.
Oh, boy.
CBS and Fox. Here we go. Back in the 1970s, Chase Younts.
Oh, boy.
The greatest intersectional rivalry in the NFL. There's a book on it called Hell with the Lid Off. It's the Raiders and the Steelers. The big bad villains of the Bay Area against the tough and mighty steel curtain of the Steel City. Well, there's now an intersectional rivalry that has the bad boys from Philly and the other Bay Area team in San Francisco.
Ooh.
Eagles, Niners, give it to me in October, America's Game of the Week on Fox.
That's a big one. I like that a lot. Wow. I was looking through that and I was like, you know what? Maybe miss with that around on Sunday Night Football, but I'm like, nah, I think Fox is. I think that reads 425 on Fox right there.
It does.
That's
I mean, it could be a primetime game. Wouldn't shock me if it was, but like these are
true.
two large fan bases, and we know what window is the most viewed.
Yeah, and that's why on my decision with this game,
oh boy, here we go.
I would like to see a 425 CBS game between the Patriots and the Bears.
in Chicago.
In Chicago.
Oh, man.
About the last two times they played each other in Chicago, it was a Hail Mary from Mitch Trubisky that was caught. Ian Eagle was on the call for that game. They were just short against Tom Brady in them.
I think they only lost one more time that year.
Yeah.
The Bears.
Yeah. Went on a run after that. And then back in 2010, that was the main 4-15 game between the Bears and the Patriots were dominant in that one. So I could definitely see that. And I'll throw you one more. Okay. I think Packers and the Patriots is going to be a great Fox game for Tom Brady to come back home.
Ooh.
And I could see that game being messed with late October, right around the time the World Series is being played. What a transition that would be. Those two teams playing, and then you throw it out to Joe Davis.
In Cincinnati.
Good.
Chase, we're 8-3.
Good.
Okay.
I'll leave it at that. Good.
You mentioned Patriots Bears in week 7 in 2018. Ian Eagle was on the call. That was the regional game, the 1:00 game on CBS.
Yep.
Do you remember what the feature national game was that day?
Week 7 of 2018. I remember the Bengals and the Chiefs played on SNF. We don't talk about that, but no, it was Cowboys Commanders. Yes, I like that. Yeah.
Ooh, yes. So let's get this matchup in late December on CBS at 425.
Ooh, I like that a lot. I like that. And you know, when those two teams played each other in October on that October 21st that day, it just felt right. You know, it felt right in terms of the game being at 4:00. The Commanders, the time the Redskins, but the Commanders wore their white jerseys. The Cowboys wearing their blue. The sunset in DC, that just felt right. You know, I could see it again.
So that's some good marketing pitches there. Eagles, Niners. You got Patriots, Bears. You got what was the other one you mentioned to me? Packers, Patriots. Yep. By the way, both times they've played in New England since SNF on NBC started in 2006. It has been 2 different quarterback matchups, and will be a third one this year if it's a Sunday night game on NBC. I mean,
let me throw another one at you. All right. This one, I think this reads Fox, but I could see them getting CBS in on this one. Niners Cowboys.
Oh, give it to me.
Like, again, it's like, I think the game, which is kind of funny enough to say, is too big for SNF. Like, I don't want to say too big, but they've played on SNF twice before. But I think it's just, it's so momentous that it's like, you know what? This especially early on in the year, you know? Like, I feel like an early on in the year matchup, say possibly late September, you could throw that in there and be like,
September. Late September?
Yeah, I think late September. Yeah. When the sun is shining way too bright in Jerry World, let's get those two in for a battle.
So God can watch, including Pat and John, who called so many of those games on CBS and Fox when that rivalry was still going in the 90s. Okay. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Hans Schroeder or Mike North, whoever you are. Darn it, the Broncos and Chiefs need to have one of their games at 425 on CBS.
Yep, I agree.
That is the easiest marketing pitch in the history of marketing pitches.
Yep. I couldn't agree more. Yeah.
Okay, now I'm trying to come up with another one here, literally on the spot.
Same here. That's all I've been doing.
By the way, I just got a word that Elias Sports Bureau has changed Matt McClain's error last night, so the Reds still have an errorless streak going at 11 games.
Nice. That's
good things.
stuff.
Good things are happening.
Yeah, they definitely are.
Okay, I'm going through all the divisions. I'm trying to come up with one. This is wow. I did not. I was so caught up in my Eagles Niners because you think about how many times we've seen that matchup over the years, the bad blood between the two teams, that what happened in the NFC Championship, the Niners showing up in all black in Week 13 and then kicking the Eagles' tails and then practically sending them into oblivion. And then this past season, the Niners beat them in the playoffs, and George Kittle sustained an Achilles injury. He's hopefully going to be back for that game. I mean, you don't know what the Eagles' defense is going to look like. I mean, that game could have some major implications. But the Eagles wearing their all white and the Niners wearing their throwback 90s uniforms, red and white pants. I mean, this has got, okay. I'm trying to think of a, wow. This is.
The options are endless at this point.
I think I might have to push this into the next show, which, by the way, mock schedule 2.0 for SNF. Yeah, we're going all out on this one.
Yeah, going to be good, and we're going to have some 425 looks as well. Should be fun.
Oh, yes.
There we go.
Considering, yeah, those will be – okay. So we've covered mock schedules. We've covered marketing pitches. Dexter Lawrence.
Yep.
Is there a world where the Bengals even consider trading for him?
They consider it, but it's not going to – I don't think it's going to happen. I would be ecstatic if the Bengals were able to get Dexter Lawrence. It would have to include a lot of picks to be involved for that one. The reports are saying he wants north of 30, right? Is that what reports we're looking at, or is it?
I haven't read what he's been wanting.
Okay. But I don't know. I mean, he's a monster. Man, I would love to see him in Cincinnati. And I feel like we do this a ton as a fan base, is that, we get on a pipe dream real quick and then it just gets kind of shot off. But it's fun to do that for a moment. It definitely is, because again, if Dexter Lawrence comes to Cincinnati, I mean, your entire, interior defensive line is set. I mean, I think your entire defensive line might be set in general, but
yeah, and defensive line has to be, I think, the strength of this defense.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't know. I think Dexter Lawrence just pushing for more money. I think the Giants are going to give it to him. I know he's not reporting to anything until that's done, but yeah, I think this is just kind of smoke and mirrors in my opinion. But I've been wrong before.
We have been wrong before. I'd love to be wrong again. I could say, BJ Hill had that kind of cryptic tweet yesterday.
Yeah, and as much as cryptic tweets are sometimes fun and everything else, just for my psyche, I don't pay attention to it. I'm just like, you know what? Cryptic tweet this. There's a ton of guys that want to campaign for others to come to Cincinnati. I think if it was a different organization, then there could be more of a possibility for them to get Dexter Lawrence. But, I saw somebody put out something where they're like, oh, they have to trade Jamar Chase and something. No.
Stop it.
Nah.
Stop it.
Nah. If they traded for Dexter Lawrence, it would have to be, first, third, something. I mean, I don't know. It would be a few picks. It would be a few pretty high picks.
You'd have to be willing to give up draft capital, and I don't think the Bengals are going to do that.
Yep.
And ultimately, it wouldn't surprise me if Dexter Lawrence, he just signed a big contract recently with the Giants. But if you were to get a guy like him, you'd be getting a face of your defensive line right in the middle. It'd be so hard to move him, and that could help Shamar Stewart. It could help Boye Mafe. It could help Miles Murphy. More importantly, it can make DJ Turner a Pro Bowler this season. It can make Brian Cook a Pro Bowler this season. It can also offset any deficiencies, which we know we have, or they have, at linebacker. I mean, there's one of two things that I'd want to see. Them sign Dexter Lawrence or draft Sonny Styles.
If Dexter Lawrence was a Bengal, he'd be the best Bengal defender since Geno Atkins.
Abso-freaking-lutely. Hey, they were both wearing number 97.
Point.
Yeah, that's a good point there. All right. NBA playoffs play-in tournament next week.
Dude.
Congratulations to NBC. Great first season
Yeah.
for them back on the air. I thought they were. I mean, like I was watching last night, and John Fant. First off, John Fant is a rising star in this business.
Oh yeah, I mean Fanta's great, and yeah, I was watching that at a Hornets and Celtics game yesterday. That was a fun one. But yeah, when you mention NBA playing, man, I just think about my Warriors, and I'm like, dude, it's miserable. I'm like, they're in the play-in, but I'm like, there's no chance. They have no chance at all to do anything if they were to ever make the playoffs. But I don't know. I get depressed thinking about the Warriors right now, but
the standings right now, if we pull them up here. So in the Western Conference, your Golden State Warriors are in 10th place. They've clinched a spot in the play-in tournament. They're 37-42. They're going to be the 10 seeds. They're going to have to win 2 games.
Yeah, they're not doing crap. They're not doing crap
to get into the playoffs. My Knicks are currently the 3 seed at 51-28. They're 6 games back of Detroit. They're 1 game up on the Cavs, who are in the 4 spot. Right now, the Knicks would play Toronto in the first round of the playoffs, which I would probably I go back and forth on it. If I had my pick, I'd want to play Atlanta because they don't have Trae Young. Philly scares me just because it's a big rivalry. I mean, the Celtics, it's so crazy to me. They were terrible early, and now they're 54-25.
Yep. Yeah. There's obviously in leagues where there are obviously less games, meaning the stakes are higher, like the National Football League. Your first couple of games of the season matter the most. And as Bengals fans, we've known that, you know. In the NBA, you can kind of get away with it. You know, you can kind of get away with it for the first 10 games, 15 games. If your guys are able to get on a rally and just start just knocking out games, and then they get Tatum back, which I mean, that's ridiculous.
And next year, the Pacers get back Tyrese Halliburton. I mean,
the
Eastern Conference next year is going to be a monster. I mean, it's going to be.
And the Pacers could get AJ DeBonta. So there's that.
Golly.
I will be going to a lot of Pacers games next year if that's the case.
You know what? I mean, you could be going to a lot of regular season games, a lot of playoff games. Back to the Bengals. Do you see them potentially trading back in the NFL draft?
No, I don't think so. I don't. They're not going to trade back in the first round. I think that could I see them trading back at all? Yeah, I could see it. I mean, second, third round, I could see them try to do whatever, move up, move back a little bit, a couple spots. But in the first round, I don't think they're going to move anything.
What did you think of them trading for signing Jasir Taylor and Kyle Duggar?
Jasir Taylor, I think it's just depth, but you can't ever have enough depth. So that's a good thing for signing him. And I think Kyle Duggar signing was good too. I think what people were talking about is that they could use Kyle Duggar as a nickel. They could. They could walk him as that third safety down in the box. I mean, that's something that I believe that Al Golden would like to have a rotation at safety, to have guys back there with a lot of experience. They obviously trust Jordan Battle, and they want to ride with Jordan Battle, and they paid enough money to Brian Cook that obviously he's going to be a guy that starts, and he's in the prime of his career. So Kyle Duggar is going to he's going to have to kind of fit in as a piece in whatever way that might be. Now, obviously, when you put together a puzzle, there's so many different pieces that you have to put together, and he might have to play that role of shape-shifting a little bit as that piece on a defense. I don't think, some people are like, oh, he might be a special teams guy. No, he's not going to be a special teams guy. He had 60-plus tackles last year. He hasn't had a season with less than 60 tackles in his career. He wasn't great last year at the end of the season for the Pittsburgh Steelers, but before that, he was pretty good. We remember him for the pick six against Joe Flacco, which basically turned the entire course of the season after the bye week. Obviously, it was not going great.
The ball Tanner Hudson in week 1 back in 24. I mean, this is a guy. I mean, he's durable. He's played in a lot of games. He played in the secondary with Marcus Jones, with J.C. Jackson. I mean, he's been around great players. He's been on good defenses. There's nothing wrong with this signing. If there's anything the Bengals have done, and this is really good, they, like we've been saying, linebacker. They say, okay, we were terrible at pass rush last year. We were terrible at safety. So what have they done? They went after those two levels of the defense. They deserve credit for that. They do.
No, I agree. I think they're I don't think they're gonna take Caleb Downs at 10, in my opinion. I don't think that's what it's gonna they could, don't get me wrong, but that's a lot of safeties right there. And I think it's because of the fact that they have so much trust in Jordan Battle. That's why I don't think they're going to, if Caleb Downs
is fine. I think Jordan Battle's coming on, and now that he has Brian Cook, he's going to be even better. Now, if you had your pick between Caleb Downs or Ruben Bain Jr. out of Miami, who are you picking?
Bain. I'm taking Ruben Bain just because of the pass rush sense. I'm thinking on the Bengals cap of things. I would love Caleb Downs, and I'd love to just kind of say, let's move off of Jordan Battle. That's just me, and it sounds wild to say, but that's just me. All right.
But you want 2 new safeties.
Yeah.
If you do that, you'd be okay with that.
I'd be okay with that.
Okay.
Because the safeties last year, to be completely frank, sucked. I mean,
Geno Stone was
terrible. And obviously, I know we mentioned that Jordan Battle was coming on last year, like later on in the year. But, I mean, we saw him have a defensive closeout on Justin Fields on a 4th down. If he deflects that pass, that's a completely different football game.
And maybe the whole season's different.
That sticks in my mind. I cannot get rid of that. He literally broke down like a defender, like he was guarding Damian Lillard, dude. Come on. It pisses me off. But
that play, that play kind of turned the whole game. If they get a stop there, they had the momentum. I think they were up like 17-3 at the time.
Yeah, that honestly that killed me off the Jordan Battle train. I don't even care at this point. Like obviously, I want to see him do well, and I hope he does well this year. And I think he can, but that put me on the other side of things.
When it comes to fundamentals, when it comes to tackling, when it comes to closing out, that's where he still needs to be better. But at the same time, the dude hustles, and he's in the right place at the right time a lot of times. I mean, he had a pick against Cleveland, pick against Jacksonville. He had another pick against Pittsburgh. He had another pick against the Ravens. So, I mean, he's making plays. This defense last year did get better. But that 5-game stretch, actually, no. I mean, the 2 games against the Jets and the Bears where the defense was so bad. I mean, but to their credit, you always remember your worst loss more than your best win. It's so often said. So they said, okay, we had no pass rush and no run stopping. We had no safety help in those 2 games. Those 2 games stood out to them the most, where the whole season went off the rails. So what did they do? They beefed those up this offseason. They have had a good offseason. They've had a very good offseason. And if they start 3-1, that's what we're going to talk about.